Hello everyone, welcome. Today we are looking at a game called GRIME that is on Steam right now. And, stop me if you heard this before, it's a metroidvania. But it's got some unique things going for it. I think this is a pretty good game, and I'm going to kind of walk you through some of the things that make this game, in my opinion, a little bit special. Before we get started, if you like the video, you want to see more, please give us a subscribe and, give us a like, follow, wherever you're watching this. And leave us a comment about what you think of the game, because I'm always interested to know what people think, what people's opinions are of games. Helps me form my own sometimes. So, with that said, let's get back to GRIME. And GRIME is a very appropriate name, I feel, for this game because of the aesthetic here. You can see that it's very dark, very gloomy, very grimy. And the aesthetic is one of the most unique things of the game. This is, like I said, a Metroidvania with some RPG stuff going on. I mean, you can see this map is extremely Metroidvania. We can actually take a look and see there's a big old map going on here. So I'm really not super far into the game, but I have definitely gotten to a point where I see where this game is going, and I'm kind of digging it. So you see when I just destroyed those rocks, there's like some wispy things that I collect. Those what this game calls mass, and you get them by killing enemies and sometimes destroying certain things in the environment, and you use that to do your upgrades. And I'm going to show you something a little bit special here. This is what kind of makes this game what it is. So I'm going to try to bait this guy out to attack me, and then I'll hit the right bumper, and I'll do this it's kind of like a parry a little bit, but it actually does a huge amount of damage and absorbs some of their essence, I guess you could say. And what that does with every enemy in the game is give you a little bit of information on them. Not really to kill them better, but to unlock certain perks, which we'll take a look at in a little while here. I gotta get back to one of those zones. So, as much as this game is a Metroidvania, it also has a little bit of a Dark Souls system going on. So you can kind of think of mass as souls in this world, and you use that to level up in a very Dark Souls fashion. There's like strength and endurance and different attributes that can also give you boosts to certain weapons. So like if you want to get better with a big heavy weapon that favors strength, then put points into your strength attribute and you'll get better with it. And just like Dark Souls, it has a limit on that, so you don't overpower with like a beginner weapon or something like that. And as we're working our way through here, I think we'll be coming back around to the bonfire equivalent, which is this tablet, I think they call it. A tableau? No, a surrogate. That's not what I thought it was called, but it's called a surrogate. And we can kind of melt into it, and just like Dark Souls, that resets all of the enemies. Most of the enemies, big boss enemies and some stronger enemies don't reset, but the fodder enemies do. So you can kind of use that like you can in Dark Souls to kind of like farm an area to get more XP if you want to level up. But right now we have the up at the top there, you see 1,301 mass is what it's called, and I can choose what I want. That that amount that's required to level up increases every level. So right now I've got 3 health, 3 force, which is this is like your endurance, so it affects your stamina, and strength, like I was saying, it increases the damage with strength scaling weapons. This is dexterity, and then this is resonance, which is kind of like, I guess you could say, the magic equivalent or intelligence equivalent. So it's I guess in this case it's a little bit more Bloodborne, because in Dark Souls there's a lot more stats that you can increase. Bloodborne was a little bit more limited in that respect, so it's only just got the 5 stats here. So let's I haven't really been upgrading dexterity. I think I found a really cool sword that I wanted to get my resonance up, but I'm pretty far away from it. I have been running a little low on stamina, so I will increase that. So now I've only got 522 mass, but I need 837. Remake, I believe this allows you to wipe out all of these stats and acquire them, redistribute them how you want, and I don't have enough of these balls to do that. Now down here is what I was talking about with that parry system. So the more you parry those enemies and like absorb them with that kind of attack, the more you learn about them, and then those unlock these traits that you can then unlock and benefit from. So like this was the arm thing reaching out to grab me. That restores 25% of your total force on a successful absorb or repel. And you can unlock as many of these as you want, it seems. There's no like there's no slots you're putting them into or anything. It's just if you acquire them and you put these little red gems in them, which you get from bigger boss characters, you can unlock them. So there was this boulder head, and a lot of times the trait you get from the enemy is related to what kind of enemy it is. So there's this boulder head guy, big giant rock head. He gives me, 25% damage reduction for incoming attacks, things like that. And yeah, every most basic enemies have popped up here, and some of the bigger enemies, like this guy, this fledgling Yer, he was kind of like seemed like a little bit of a special enemy that I found. Maybe there's more of him as you go along, but he also gave me an attribute, trait too, that I can put stuff into. So this one needs 2 of those red gems. I only have 1, so let's see what I can do. You can now hold L to walk slowly. I don't really know what that will do. I haven't really ran into any stealth, like characters that would enemies that would react to stealth, like if I could sneak around. So I haven't unlocked that one yet. I'm a little hesitant to, because I don't want to waste my gems. But it also doesn't look like I can unlock anything else here. So I guess I can't show that, but it's really not that big of a deal. It doesn't really there isn't any change to my character or anything like that. It's just I got more skills and more stuff that I can work with in combat. So I'll leave. I did level up that one time, and we can also come in here to the inventory while we're showing all these awesome menus and see that there's a huge inventory system here. So there's a bunch of items that you pick up. This is the Motley Pearl. That's my second favorite 80s band. And, this blood metal splinter. And there's even armor, like these boulder plate legs. And weapons, of course, twin fangs, and you can break them down into sections as well. So, like, the twin fangs are fast but low damage. And then, like, this finger blade is a huge giant sword that's slow to attack but does a lot more damage. And you can see there, it shows you, 0 strength, 0, was that finesse? I forget what they actually call it. be and stuff like that. So you can tell which, like this one definitely levels up with strength and finesse as well. So sometimes they have both. So you can see that right there. And then you have some other items. A lot of these are consumables, and you can kind of see what they're gonna do when you use them. When used, the next absorb grants 100% more breath. Not 100% sure what breath is. There's a lot of really strange terms in this game, and they kind of throw them all at you all at once, and it's easy to not remember them. Can be used to return to the most recently created surrogate. So that's an example of like a homeward bone from Dark Souls. Tosses a volatile blob in front of the vessel. I think you're the vessel. I'm pretty sure. There's like a whole weird thing where at the beginning there's like a weird like Adam and Eve, and then you're created in this weird rock world. It's very... The story is very esoteric. And then on the right here we've got what I have equipped. I've got some armor equipped, 2 weapons. This is a giant billow mace, which is pretty cool if you can get the hit in, and some other things, some things that are throwable and equipable. These are my stats, all of my I guess this is the enemies I've killed. So you can see I've only killed one of these dudes, so my absorb progress is 1 of 3. If I kill 2 more with that absorb ability, that parry ability I was talking about, I will then learn a new trait from this. And here's my map, and then the menu. So let's go a little bit farther in here. I really want to show off the varied environments here, because I think, like I said, that's an area where this game really stands out. This is where I fought a boss. Bosses are pretty tough. They're very pattern focused, at least the ones I've seen, and they're not as difficult as something that you would probably find in a From Software game, but they are challenging, and they do give you a pretty good reward. You get a lot of mass, and you get usually one of those gems to upgrade your traits at least. So yeah, this is kind of where the game really opened up. That earlier part was very much a tutorial area, could kind of give you an idea of what the game is all about, and then it just kind of opens up here and gives you a lot more branching paths to work with. And yeah, it's kind of an exciting moment. They use those big giant like rock faces, and I love how the game kind of shows you the how big this world is. Even though you're just on this 2D plane kind of running through it, you can see all the stuff going on in the background. And I think it does a really good job of showing that. Stoneborn of the Broken Sky, you will be welcomed in Lithic. I don't know what any of that means. Oh, is this my dude? Yeah. Maybe it's my dude? I don't know. There's a guy that was helping you out in the caves, and I don't remember if this is the same person. Ooh, the head noises, huh? Maybe not. Although I can't kill him, so that might be the same guy. He's just having a bad day. And yeah, along with the art style, which is, like those big faces, very Prometheus, very, Geiger-esque. Even with some of the flesh imagery as well. Thankfully, there isn't as much like I mean, in my opinion, thankfully, there isn't as much of the like sexual imagery that you can get from Geiger. It seems to be more related to those faces and like the exoskeleton xenomorph looking stuff. And I think it's really, really good. It's like, yeah, it's borrowing, sure, but it's also doing a lot of its own stuff here, and especially in the enemy design. Oh, here's one of these. Uh-oh. Like when you look at these guys, they're humanoid, but they're made of rock, and that's kind of the game's aesthetic. It's like everything is alive and a little fleshy and a little gross, but it's also made of rock, and I think it's just a really cool aesthetic. So there's one other system I really haven't talked about, and that's so up near my health bar there's that infinity symbol, which until I hit 100 was counting up, and what that is a multiplier for my mass. So, you know, everything I kill increases that multiplier a little bit, and then everything I kill also gives me mass. So the higher that multiplier is, the more mass I'm getting per kill. So you're encouraged to get that up as high as you can. You lose a little bit when you get hit, and you also lose it all. Oh yeah, that's right. You also lose it all when you die. And that is the penalty for death. It's not as severe as like a Dark Souls or something like that. It's you lose your mass multiplier, and that's kind of it. And you can actually go back and collect it if you want to. So it's, you know, it's like I said, it's certainly not as like, it doesn't feel as, ooh, all right, those things can kill me. Just sitting there if I walk past them. Oh, so it doesn't feel as, I guess, I guess you could say as punishing as dying in Dark Souls, like having to go back and get maybe a lot of souls. These guys are pretty annoying. You know, you don't have to go back and get a ton of souls, which is like your upgrade currency. It's just your multiplier. So you can still progress, you can still level up and stuff like that. It's just you are not maybe collecting souls as quick. And it looks like there's a maximum here of 100 anyway, so it's not that big of a deal if you decide like, I'm not even gonna risk it, I'm just gonna get out of here and try. Fuck. There's a lot of that too. A lot of you drop down and then there's a dude there to hit you in the back. So that's a perfect example. You can see when your vessel is destroyed, you lose all ardor, and the lost vessel reforms where it shattered. So basically, the ardor is what I was talking about, the multiplier that gives you more souls, gives you more mass, and then you can choose to go back and get it if you want, or you can say, forget it, I'm going to just do something else. So on the map, I haven't filled in. You have to find like a map stone or a map thing to actually fill in the map, but you can see the like serpent spiral thing over on the right is where my vessel is, or my ardor, which is like my old vessel. It's a lot of words, a lot of nouns that don't make a lot of sense. But yeah, so we'll head over there and kind of make our way there and see if we can collect it. It's the direction I gotta go anyway in the game, so it's might as well go for it, right? I think I ended up... Did I kill enough of those creatures to unlock a new trait? Yep. Grow to gain, restores force while well-timed dashes. Not sure what force is, which thing that is. That may be your life. Again, a lot of different names for things that you have to get used to. And then as you can see, as I'm, making my way to these, to my lost body, so to speak, I'm also reacquiring my art or my multiplier. So when you kill something like that, you get 5. A normal kill is 3. And then I think if you get hit, it's -2. So you're kind of obviously encouraged to not get hit. But it's not that huge of a penalty if you do. Oop. So you can absorb these and throw them back at the guys, which is pretty useful. And so one more thing, and that's the orange like half moon on the right side next to the 31 up in the corner. That is something that builds up over time as you kill enemies, and you can use it to heal. There are also objects that you get in the game, like consumables that you can use to heal, but that's kind of like your renewable your renewable heal. Okay, so like I said, I recharged over time. So this is where I died, and here's my old body, and you just smack it and you get back, I guess maybe it must be 50%, like half of whatever you lost you get back. So even if you do forget about it, it's not that big of a deal. It's kind of like a way to make the game more challenging if you want to, because like I said, you can just get that back again, and it's not hard to get to, the 100% increase. So it's very forgiving in that department, than like a Dark Souls or something. So if you're not a fan of that kind of punishing difficulty, you don't have to worry too much about it, because I think this game does a pretty good job of making it something you can go for if you want, but not necessary if you don't want to. Whereas in Dark Souls, or Bloodborne, if you lose a whole bunch of souls, you're in trouble. It could set you back quite a bit, especially at the beginning of the game. Even though it's really not that big of a deal in the long run, it's like a mental thing I think you can go through with those games. So I can upgrade here. Let's go with strength. Oh, and I can upgrade twice. That's awesome. Still gonna go with force because I feel like I'm still running out of stamina pretty frequently. And then we've got this new ability. Dashing leaves behind an echo for a short time. You restore 15% of total force if the echo is damaged. Still not 100% sure what force is. An echo for a short time. I wonder if that means it's like a distraction. Let's find out. So is this somebody I can talk to? Odd. That last quake was really different. And that watcher hardly watches for anything anymore. Oh boy. What the hell? It's a good question. Suppose I could offer you the same terms of trade your kind would get in a world pillar. Here, have a look. Oh, okay. Trade. Ooh, okay. Ooh, big giant. A claw. Special attack, capable of throwing maul sword. Alright, so he's just a little bit of a merchant that has some interesting weapons here. What else? There was some other options. You just listen. I don't know. Does this make like a shortcut or something? Yeah, it did. And yeah, it's a shortcut game. Like in that Metroidvania Dark Souls way, you will unlock shortcuts as you progress, so you don't have to. Oh, I missed that parry. Yeah, I think this is a great game. You know, I'm a huge fan of Metroidvanias, and this game is in that vein for sure. It also has like a little bit of the Dark Souls stuff going on, which I also do like, but I don't always like the punishment of that game, of those games. And by this kind of pulling back a little bit on that and making the combat, you know, a little challenging, but also doing a little bit of its own thing with the parry mechanic and stuff, I feel like it is kind of striking its own vibe, especially with the art style and how that feeds into the enemy design and everything like that. And then there's just little hidden areas all over the place too, so there's secrets and stuff to find. Lots of stuff I still haven't even figured out. And I'm excited to, because as I said, the game is kind of speaking to me in a lot of ways, just making it stand out among other Metroidvania games in the somewhat crowded field, let's say. And then just as like a I know there hasn't been a whole lot I've shown kind of Metroidvania in the way that you would find something that you can't get past and then maybe you need an ability. This seems to be something. Like, there was another one of these just a little ways back, and I don't know what to do with this. I can't hit it. I can't really do anything with it, so I'm assuming at some point I'm going to get an ability that lets me interact with those and maybe open up a whole bunch of new and exciting avenues to explore. So yeah, that's GRIME. and I'm excited to play more, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe to see more. We do these a lot, you know, kind of highlight these indie games as they come along. We also do written reviews, not as many of those because they take a lot longer. We kind of like to focus on these smaller, showing you how the, oh God, oh Jesus, not good. Oh boy, let's see if I can beat this guy. Oh God. So that when he was flashing red there, that was an undodgeable attack. Oh, well that sucked. Okay, that was a my bad. I hit and killed that explosive bomb. But yeah, that was an example that wasn't like a main boss, that was a mini boss, and you wander into those things as you saw me do just right there. You just kind of fall into them, and you know, yeah, I died, but it's not that big of a deal. I could go back and get those things if I felt like I think I could beat that guy now that I know he's a boss and some of his moves. But I still have all of my mass that I've acquired. All I lost was my multiplier there. So I could go back and get it and fight that boss again. Or I could just say, forget it. I'll go a different direction if I don't want to deal with him right now. And I think that's a good balance that this game is going for. It's not too punishing. I also haven't found it super difficult either. So hopefully all of those things are things that are interesting to you too. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Leave a comment if you like the game, if you like the video. Let me know how we're doing, and we will see you next time.